Mandla.
Well, there is definitely a celebration right there in the Eastern Cape, where Zizi Kodwa has just handed the mic over to the Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who's about to be addressing the ANC members right there in the Eastern Cape, where the elections were actually held out, where Oscar Mabuyane was elected as the new chair. Now, Deputy Cyril Ramaphosa is on stage about to address the ANC members.
Viva Cosatu, viva! Viva Cosatu, Cosatu, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Viva SAP, SAP, viva! Viva Sanko! Oh, niyayilibala Sanko. Comrades, I bring you greetings from the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. I also bring you greetings from the officials. I was supposed to be with the other officials in KZN, where the other officials are meeting with the Provincial Executive Committee of our movement in KZN, where we are trying to forge unity between comrades who became disgruntled after the provincial conference of 2015 and took the ANC to court. So we are trying as officials to bring them together, and that's where I was supposed to be. But then I was asked to come here. As officials, we are bound to do whenever there is a provincial conference. Members of the National Executive Committee, as well as one of the officials, should grace the occasion and be present and bring a message from the National Executive Committee. And it is in execution of that task that I am here. But I'm also here because I love to be here in the Eastern Cape. This is a great province. I love it because nibahle nonke anisebahle xa ninijongile nibona abantu be-ANC. So I thank you for that. With regard to the song you were singing now, leli culo, khange ninijoyine kuleli culo. If beningijonge kakuhle, NEC has decided, and this is quite serious, ukuthi in ANC meetings we should not be singing songs that can lead to divisions amongst us. So masiyamkeleni lonto. Lawo maculo, they are beautiful songs, and as ukuthi sizawacula apha mhlambe ecaweni. Mhlambe ku Stockfell nizawunibiza ku Stockfell sami nizawucula lawo maculo. But in meetings of the ANC, the request and directive from the NEC is that lezo preferences zethu, let's keep them in our hearts and our minds and our bodies and our thinking. A directive evela good National Executive Committee. Masimameleni. Comrades, I'm not going to be long because you still have umsebenzi wokuvota. Nisafana ukuthi niyovota, nivotele additional members. I want to start off by extending my greetings to the comrades who've been elected, the provincial chairperson, Comrade Oscar Mabuyane, and all those who have been elected with him. They are the new leadership of the province as elected by yourselves. I also, comrades, want to extend my greetings to members of the National Executive Committee who gave me a report that told me that they've been here and some of them have been working even prior to the conference, trying to make sure that we hold a credible conference. The work that they were doing was also evident on television, as a number of them were standing outside at the gate looking at the credentials. And these members of the NEC, you know, sometimes sinokuthinga ukuthi amalungu NEC they don't work, abasebenzi. Mna ndibabonile this time ukuthi nyani bayasebenza, and they were working very hard. Siyawubulela umsebenzi wabo. They worked extremely hard, and they say they have a report, a fairly detailed report that they are going to present to the National Working Committee and the National Executive Committee about this conference, what happened prior to the conference, what happened during the conference, and also what they have observed, and they will be able to give their own analysis. I have just, let me also extend my greetings, comrades, to the leadership of the alliance that is here. I extend my greetings to the alliance. Abe Fundisi, now I extend my greetings to all of you, traditional leaders amongst us, and leaders of all our various formations. Before I came here, because I've just arrived, last night, kanbona itulo ziya yonke indawo. Bekuyi festival yeitulo apha. That yo, you know, it went on for quite a while. Bengicinga ukuthi kulahlelwa isitulo esiyi-1 kuphela. Ngabona ukuthi zininzi ezitulo. Xa ndifika apha, I immediately said, kunokwenzeka ukuthi bakhona abantu abalimele. And I wanted to go to hospital, to go and visit those of our comrades who are injured, who are in hospital. I was on my way to hospital when I was told, Uguti, nearly all of them have been discharged from hospital. I wanted, comrades, to go and pay my respects to them as the Deputy President of the African National Congress, and express my regret to them as well that they got injured in a meeting of the African National Congress. Comrades, what we saw on our television screens yesterday, and some of the things or the incidents we saw were from within ourselves here on social media. Bakhona abantu who were then propagating the various incidents that were happening, the chair throwing, abantu belimala, and so forth, is something that we as the African National Congress must be deeply ashamed about. This is not the behavior that is expected of members of the African National Congress. As the ANC comrades, we've got to condemn, and we do condemn, violence as a method of addressing and resolving our differences and disputes amongst us. We cannot allow violence to be utilized as a way of resolving our problems and differences. This is what puts the African National Congress into disrepute. We are a great movement. We are a movement of Oliver Tambo. We are a movement of Nelson Mandela. And those great leaders of our movement always found time to sit down and address differences that may have arisen amongst them rather than to resort to violence. So ngoku, all of us must say, phansi ngeviolence, phansi. Phansi ngeviolence, phansi. Comrades, this is a message that we must send very clearly throughout the length and the breadth of our country, that the ANC will never resort to utilizing violence as a way of addressing differences amongst us. We should not do that. And in fact, here in this province of the great legends of our movement, we expect better. This province is a province of legends. We are proud of this province. This is a province that must lead, that must provide leadership to our movement and show the way on everything, comrades, in terms of behavior, in terms of politics, in terms of clarity, in terms of the knowledge of the history of our movement. This Eastern Cape is the one province of all provinces that must be leading in our movement. You are legends. You are a province of legends. So, comrades, we must send a clear message out there that we will not resolve our problems through violence. Now, the other one we must send out very clearly is that we should never resolve our problems through courts of law. Comrades, I say this because when there are problems and divisions amongst us, it's always best that we sit down and talk about our differences rather than rush to courts or resort to violence. In KZN today, we are resolving precisely a similar problem where there were differences and problems leading up to their provincial conference. It ended up going to court, but the real tragedy is that the ANC remains divided. It remains divided, and today we are trying to pick up the pieces and unite the African National Congress. The ANC in the end becomes the victim. The ANC in the end becomes the one that is more injured than anything else, where healing is then necessary. What has happened here is something that we've got to address. And it takes me to talking about the tasks. What are our tasks now? We've held this conference and there's been clear division amongst us. Rather than Uguti Tina who are here should gloat and feel victorious and feel that we have won, we should be asking ourselves, what is our responsibility as the ANC to unite the African National Congress here in the Eastern Cape? That is what we should be focusing on. Comrade Oscar Mabuyan, as the chairperson of the ANC here, he now and his comrades who are the officials, including those members that you are going to elect, they now have the task of uniting the ANC. Yabona comrades, when we go through conferences, we must avoid a situation where after a conference, we emerge divided following a conference. A conference must be a process that unites all of us, that unites those who have won and those who have lost. Because in the end, it is the ANC that must emerge victorious. The ANC must always win. And I am urging the leadership that has been elected here, your task is to heal the wounds, is to unite this movement here in the Eastern Cape. And indeed, our broader task as the African National Congress, even as we are going to our national conference, is to forge unity, to unite our movement, to look at all possibilities of emerging united post the December conference. We must seek to choose a leadership that will bind the ANC together. And it should not be a leadership that will say, the winner takes all, and everyone else who has lost, get lost. That is not the way of the ANC. So, APA comrades, I am saying we should not, one, be feeling so victorious that we become arrogant. We should not be feeling so victorious that we say, Hambani, Nina, who are not here or who have lost. That is not the spirit that we should be exuding. And I know many of us who are sitting here may not be feeling like that at this point in time. But comrades, as members of this glorious movement, it is our task to unite the African National Congress. Beyond that, we've been given another important task of uniting the people of South Africa. That is our revolutionary task. We will never be able to unite the people of South Africa if we ourselves are not united. It is therefore important that we should unite ourselves. Those comrades who have lost, those comrades who are also not here, we want them back. They must become part of the African National Congress. They must be here because all of us are members of this great family which was described by O.R. Tambo when he came back and brought the African National Congress back in 1991. As Comrade Zizi was saying, he said, you gave me a task as Oliver Reginald Tambo to go and lead the mission of the African National Congress in exile. It was difficult. Those were the most difficult years and dangerous years of the African National Congress, where death, jail, exile were the order of the day. But he came back in 1991 and he said, we've brought this movement back. It is bigger, it is stronger, and it is intact and united. This is the African National Congress. So we are saying, comrades, this is the African National Congress that was bequeathed to us by our forebears, O.R. Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Nelson Mandela, Raymond Mhlaba, Joe Slovo. They bequeathed this movement to us. Our task is to continue to unite the African National Congress. No matter what the difficulties we are going through, right now, kunzima, comrades, we are going through difficult moments as the African National Congress. But we've got a beacon of hope. The December conference stands out there as the beacon of hope when we will renew the ANC, when we will unite the ANC, when we will emerge from that conference with policies that are going to take not only the ANC forward, but the country forward. I must tell you, comrades, go to the whole country, in fact, the world is waiting for that conference in December. By Lindele Leyo conference. The business community is waiting for that conference. The NGO sector is waiting for that conference. Professional bodies are waiting for that conference. State institutions are waiting for that conference. Nani nonke nilindile leyo conference diyanbona. Nathi sonke as NEC members silindele leyo conference. We are waiting for that conference to happen, comrades, because that conference is going to rejuvenate the ANC. We are going to emerge with solid policies that are going to take our country forward. I am telling you, comrades, those policies are going to breathe more life into the economy of our country so that we can create jobs, so that we can reduce poverty, so that we can reduce inequality. That is what we are all waiting for. And those policies, that is going to be the hope for the African National Congress and for South Africa as a whole. So, comrades, Tasia Guleo Conference, we want to use solid stepping stones. Solid stepping stones. And your conference here is a stepping stone leading us to that national conference. Niatanda, noma ningathandi, you are a stepping stone to the December conference. So arising from here must be a solid leadership, a leadership that is going to take this province of the legends forward. Additional members, you must choose comrades who you know are going to work with the officials so well as to take this province to another level. Because the tasks of the Eastern Cape leadership and the ANC are to make sure, Guti, we create jobs here in the Eastern Cape. That is the task, comrades. Many other things we've got clarity on. Ipolitiki apa Eastern Cape. Ininzi ipolitiki. Niyayazi ipolitiki yenu. Niqeqeshwe kakuhle. So ipolitiki niyayazi. Into yona esifunayo ukuthi economy must be driven by the leadership of the ANC in this province. That is what we want. And nito bapo, you must then strengthen the African National Congress so that we must go and win in Nelson Mandela Bay. Goba apo comrades na pazamanyani. We must go and win Nelson Mandela Bay back. It belongs to the African National Congress. And all that, comrades, will be able to do when we are strong, when we are a firm stepping stone. So we, as the ANC here in the Eastern Cape, we must go to the national conference with great wisdom, with great strength, to go and perform our national task of making sure that the ANC comes out of the national conference in December stronger, much bigger, fitter, renewed, and ready to take South Africa to a higher level. That's what we should be doing. The country is waiting for what you are going to decide in December. So strengthen your resolve apha kule conference and make sure that you put your best foot forward when we go to the national conference. Comrades, the journey is not going to be an easy one, particularly for you here in the Eastern Cape. It's going to be a difficult one. All I will say to you, Oguti, this leadership of the NEC that is here, after they have presented their report to the NEC, they are going to come back here with the national officials. We are going to make sure that we work together with all of you to bind the organization together, to make sure that they become a part of the effort to take us forward. We want to do this, comrades, so that we avoid what mistakes we made in KZN. At KZN, and we've been able to admit this, also as the national leadership, we took too long to address the problems and the challenges zase KZN. I want us to avoid them here. I want us, we must act immediately. All of us working with the comrades who've been here by NEC. The NEC is going to get stuck in here to resolve the problems, to heal the wounds. Because this weekend there were some wounds, both literal and figurative, that occurred here. And comrades, we can't just walk away and say, we've got as the leadership to bind the Eastern Cape together. We will be working with Comrade Oscar and the other officials and all of you. I want to end by saying, comrades, like it is happening now in KZN, we are saying we are all members of the same family. And that is the African National Congress. We are members of the same family. Let us reach out to one another. And I'm also making a call on those comrades who are not here. O Comrade Pumlo, Nabanye who are not here. I am saying, remember one thing, and all of us must remember, we are members of the family of the African National Congress. We must all come back and work together. And if we can help it, let us resolve our problems up amongst us, rather than be rushing all over. The leadership of the African National Congress at national level will be on hand to address the problems and the challenges here. Kasisa, with proposals and solutions, we are suggesting that all of us must be open. Open to be persuaded, open to listen, to reason, and open to one important thing, to keep the African National Congress united. That is one thing which we must never turn away from. We must unite the African National Congress, because the ANC, comrades, is all we have. There's nothing else that we have. Sine ANC ka. And this is when we say, Oliver Tambo, magabambe isandla sethu. Hold our hand, Oliver Tambo, and help us go through these challenges that we will be facing. And we are determined, and the new leadership that's been elected here is determined, Comrade Oscar, they are determined to unite the African National Congress so that we become strong, so that the ANC goes through December and emerges even stronger after the national conference. Zanbona ku conference ke mna comrades xa siphuma kule conference amandla. Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Long live the spirit of Nelson Mandela, long live. Long live the spirit of Oliver Tambo, long live. Amandla. Diabule.
Well, that was Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa there. He was bringing greetings all the way from the national ANC.
Amandla.
Well, coming back from the Eastern Cape, right there where Deputy President was addressing the members of the Eastern Cape ANC, where the chairperson elected as Oscar Mabuyane is now the newly chairperson right there in the Eastern Cape. Stay tuned to NN7 TV for more news and updates as we will be bringing you the follow-up story right there from the Eastern Cape.